welcome everyone to episode 1 of Open It Uppercuts. We are here, we are live. This has been so long in the making, and I cannot believe we're here. I'm obviously the voice that you have no choice in the SBC scene. I am Jody Edwards. I'm joined by one of the best people in the game, Dan Talks Fine, aka the future of commentary in this sport. Dan, we're
Yeah.
here, brother. We're
Oh,
finally
this is
doing it.
so exciting, Jody. Honestly, we've been speaking about doing something together and a project like this together for a long, long time
Hmm.
now. Finally, we can put it all into practice. And here we are. What a start. What a journey we're gonna go on together.
Yeah. Also, before we even go any further, just want to say thank you to everyone who's already given us support. Like, we've had mad questions asking, oh, what's this about? We're excited for the content. What are you going to be bringing? We're going to answer as many questions as we can today, but we're also going to talk about all like the recent topics that have happened around our sport. So mainly focusing on the Misfits card that got announced yesterday, the recent results of Joe Joyce and Philip Hergovich and Geronis Masterclass last weekend, and so much more. So I hope everyone is just excited. But yeah, this is just going to be a wild ride.
I'm excited, Jody. What is one of the main reasons you wanted to start this up and get this channel going together?
I mean, me and you have been boys for so long. Like, I'm pretty sure, I may be wrong this, but I think you were the first ever person I announced as a ring announcer.
I
I'm pretty
think
sure that's the case.
actually, now that you said that, I think that is true, yeah.
Yeah, and me and you have like we've been so close together as brothers and as friends in this sport, and just friends outside as well. Like we've gone to Misfits events together, we've been doing content together, we've watched ups and downs of so many of our fellow content creators. It just makes sense for me and you to finally do this, and the support we've had again is just phenomenal. So, like, Dan, do you want to tell everyone what we want to like try and achieve from this channel? Like, what people can expect from us bringing this out?
Yeah, I think for both of us, like you were just saying, I think we've gone on such a journey already together that something like this and had to happen. We had to create some sort of channel or be or create some sort of content together in alignment. And
Mm.
we're both huge boxing fans, whether it's influencer boxing, whether it's traditional boxing, or whether it's the SCB scene, and we've both been a part of that.
Whoop,
Um,
whoop.
yeah, shout out everyone there. So I think what everyone can expect going forward is fight breakdowns, analysis, discussion points, everything to do with boxing you can possibly think of. We're going to be covering, and we're going to try and bring you videos as frequently as we possibly can, and have a lot of fun with this. I think this project is going to take off. I think it's going to be one that elevates us both and in our careers in boxing in general. And I'm really, really looking forward to it, bro.
Both going to enjoy so much. Like it's going to be something that we can only imagine how amazing it would be. But the fact is, I posted out this morning. Loads of our friends and loads of our followers have already got questions for us. So I'm going to start with Lewis's question, aka the Alpha, as always.
Shout
Lewis asked basically, what is your ideas for this channel and will you be having special guests? Simple answer, yes, we will have special guests. It makes only sense that we invite all of our legends to come join us, firm. But at the same time, me and Dan want to grow this as much as we can, and we want to make sure the guests have an environment when they come onto this channel that they really appreciate. They can grow themselves, not just us, because we want to build everyone else up with us. Like long-term goal for us is getting a studio for this and inviting people into the studio with us. But yeah, that's the question to that. We are definitely going to get guests in because it just makes the whole boxing community a lot more tighter, a lot more friendlier, and just shows why this is the best and most upcoming sport today.
Couldn't agree more. I think the guests that we're going to have on are going to bring so much value to everyone as well, add so much
Mm.
insight into the boxing world that I think it will be perfect for everyone, and even for ourselves. It'll be beneficial for everyone.
What topic should we start off with? Because we've got a whole fucking list.
Oh, we have, haven't we? I Do you know what? I think we could start with the Misfits card that was announced, if you fancied it.
Yeah,
I think it's a
yeah, 100%.
perfect way to start. It was literally only announced, well, for us, it was announced yesterday. For people
Yeah.
watching Thursday. So I think it's an absolute perfect way to start. What have you made of this whole Misfits drama, if you want to call it that, at the minute that's been going on, the dilemmas they've been having, the struggles? What have you made of the whole thing at the minute?
I'll be honest, brother, I can see it as more like a crisis because they've had to cancel two cards in the space of like a month and a half. And don't get me wrong, I love Misfits as much as the next man. Like, I've been wanting to get on there for years, but the fact that we've got questions of KSI's future, whether JG's going to be fighting in the sport or not, we've had to postpone a very tasty, as in steak juicy, dripping off tasty bout between Ty Mitchell and Idris Virgo, which is still going to happen, which is good. But now it's been debunked to a co-main event. I'm not sure how Ty's going to feel about that because it's in his hometown.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I love Darren Till, but should that really main event? I don't know. But yeah, it's a better card than what we got. I just feel like there's a problem with it overcrowded because there's 10 fights. The last time we had 10 fights, or sorry, 8 plus, was the Prime card.
Mm.
And the Prime card was stacked with talent. But every single fight that we watched on the Prime card was entertaining in its own different way. But we've got half of the roster on that card who have not done Misfits before. So they haven't even created a following or a fan base. They have a fan base from their other job of being like a dancer, MMA fighter, blah, blah, blah. But they haven't engaged with the Misfits audience yet, which for me is going to be something that might struggle.
It's always going to be difficult, isn't it, in this space of what who do you get on the card and who's going to represent the quote unquote influencer or the crossover scene? And in my opinion, I think it could bring quite a unique and new audience over to the Misfit
Yeah.
scene, especially someone like the guy from Diversity, Ashley Banjo. I think I think he's he fighting on this card.
Yeah,
Jordan
yeah, yeah.
Jordan Jordan maybe something. Um,
Jordan Banjo, I think, yeah.
yes, that's the one. I think something like that is going to bring a bit of a unique, different audience over to the Misfits scene that I think is going to help a lot. But you are right, they haven't dabbled in the Misfits community in the scene. They don't know what it's all about at this stage. So it's quite interesting. But there is a lot of new faces, and I think that could be really good for Misfits.
The way I would describe the Misfits roster, it's similar to like I'm going off a wrestling term here. I describe it as like AEW's like roster. Like
Yeah.
there's too many people in the same type of category, and then you can't get everyone fighting on the card, which then starts controversy, then starts feelings of neglect for certain fighters, feeling like they need to go elsewhere to at least get TV time or fights. But yeah, it sounds like we're shitting on Misfits. I can promise you guys, we're really not. Like honestly, me and Dan dream of actually getting onto Misfits, like doing our roles respectively. We just want the business to thrive. Like we want it to be as well as like all the other promotions in the pro game, like Queensbury, Matchroom. Not going to say Boxer because that's a pile of dump. Top Rank. Am I missing one? Not Golden Boy. Oh, Riyadh season. There you go. Riyadh season and the ring and the ring. But yeah, what do you think of like the main event and the co-main? So it's still Idris Virgo, Ty Mitchell. Now it's Darren Till and Darren Stewart.
Yeah. I mean, in my personal opinion, as a fight fan, I think Darren Till should be main eventing. Personally, I just think his name alone holds a lot more weight, but that's just my opinion on it. Um,
Fair.
it sucks to be demoted for the Idris Virgo fight. It sucks for them to be demoted down to a co-main event. And I don't know if it's trolling or if it's genuine, but it looks like they haven't been told that they were demoted to a co-main event. But at the end of the day, they're probably still getting paid the same. They're probably it, a lot of things are probably still the same for them. It's just a title one
Yeah,
less.
yeah.
So I don't think it matters too much, and I think they should just get on and scrap. And probably going to be one of the most skillful technical fights, I think, because both guys can really, really fight. And I'm so looking
Mm.
forward to it because it's a big, big test for Idris, you know?
It just has not gone up against an undefeated pro like this.
Mm,
Like the last time he really had a real test was Aaron Chalmers, but Chalmers is not a boxer. Chalmers dabbles and dips into every single martial art he can find, which fair play, he does actually do a high standard for each one, but he's not a professional boxer from day dot. Ty Mitchell has been in there with the likes of Tyson Fury, Martin Bacoli, Joseph Parker. Like he's been around the heavyweight pro game. Fair play to him actually coming down in weight because I thought he'd be quite small at light heavyweight. He actually looks perfectly fine at the weight. If anything, I think he he looks like the biggest light heavyweight I think I've ever seen.
yeah, yeah, no, you're probably right.
He's like he's like the same height as me, but he's got the build of Ben Whittaker, and he still hits like a truck.
We know Idris is good though. This is the thing. We know he's at a decent level, quite a good fighter himself. So it's such a fascinating matchup that they've put together here. Uh, and to co-main event, the card is pretty stacked. Even though there's a lot of fights happening and people who may not have fought before or coming back and fighting again, the card is stacked, bro. Like you got Waleed and Fox.
Hmm.
What a fight that is, honestly, bro.
That
What a fight.
that's my fight tonight. I'll
Yeah.
be honest, that's the one I'm really tuning in for. Like Fox is a real G, honestly.
Mm.
Like he's always supportive as well. But he's actually grown so much since last year. Like I remember when I was at Misfits 12, I was in Leeds. I was watching him versus Small Spartan J. The way he brutalized him in a round, I still think that's the best knockout I've ever seen on Misfits.
Mm.
Like he had Jay literally twitching like in his left leg because of how much power he got hit with that left hook. And
Mm.
the thing is, Fox finished his last two fighters as a southpaw. His stance is orthodox.
Crazy.
That just that just proves. Shout out Coach Sol because you are changing his life and you're changing his career already because he looks like a brilliant fighter.
Yeah.
That being said, Waleed is no joke either. Just because he lost twice to Dean Gray doesn't mean he's an easy pushover.
No chance. How do you
Nah.
expect Lee to come back though? Because well, the last time we saw him on Misfits was the Dean fight, no?
It was, yeah. It
So
was. It was. That was on the Prime card.
yeah, how do you expect him to bounce back from that?
Well, he's been keeping himself busy doing like pro fights in the hidden underground. But if you're going to build off his last fight on Misfits, he just needs to go back to the simple science. Hit, don't get hit. Hit them, don't let them hit you. Because he got caught so many times from Dean. I think he got dropped about twice in that fight. It was still a decision win, and while he did really well at the end and he rocked Dean bad, early rounds where he got caught literally cost him everything. If he starts hot against Fox, it's a more competitive fight. If he lets Fox build into it slowly and let him sit behind his jab and work on his craft in the first two rounds, I believe Waleed will not win. I believe Waleed will legit just run away again.
I think this is genuinely the fight I'm looking forward to most on the card, like we
Yeah.
said earlier. And I think I, for whatever reason, have just doubted Fox in every fight he's had so far. I've always just had this like maybe he's not as experienced as the fighters he's coming up against, or maybe for whatever reason I've doubted him. And right now, I'm not gonna doubt him anymore. I'm not
Mm.
doubting him anymore. So Fox, I'm going for Fox win, and I think to be honest, it'll probably go the distance. And Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. Waleed is so fucking good. It's ridiculous.
Is
But he's he's shown a lot of vulnerability, in my opinion. And even though it's like still early on in their careers, in their boxing careers, and they're both quite young still, he has shown a lot of vulnerability compared to Fox. And I probably expect Fox to keep on his good train and his winning train, and I expect him to get the job done.
Fox round three TKO.
Yeah.
That's my prediction. I'm going to stick with it. That's my prediction.
I'm gonna go decision win. Fox the G. Go on. Get up.
Come on, Fox. Come on. But
Any more
Wally,
fights you want to touch on that card? I know we've I'm just got the card up in front of me. I mean, we've got the return of Tempo Arts, which is quite fascinating.
I'll be honest, I'm not interested in the Survivor tag. The last time I watched it, I got so bored.
Yeah.
Like, fair play, it's four heavyweights, which makes it more enticing for me because you know I'm a heavyweight boy through and through. I've got the size to prove it. But for me, I just don't find it interesting. Like Survivor Tag for me is an idea that Mams has thrown to the wall that just doesn't work. I could easily be wrong. I'll bite my own hand if it actually becomes a success for this event. But from the last time I watched it, it doesn't work for me. The things that do work, tag team fights, awesome. Mystery opponents, awesome. Survivor Tag for me at the moment, no. I know it sounds harsh, but for me, I know what I like. And Survivor Tag for me just didn't entertain me.
I'm not gonna try and reflect back on the old Survivor tag because I think that didn't work at all, and I got really confused about a lot of things. Even during the fight, I was just a bit like
Mm,
confused about everything that was going on. And then there's one winner at the end, and you're like, well, there. It didn't interest me at all. However, this time around, them being heavyweights
no.
adds a big difference, I think. Four huge fighters all going in a survivor tag. They said there's some rule changes this time. We're not too sure on what they are yet, I don't think. But that now adds a whole different dynamic for me. And I think the return of Tempo Arts, the former Misfits heavyweight champ, is back. I think it's a really good one, and I expect him to probably try and win it. I would be a bit disappointed if he can't dominate the survivors,
Yeah.
to be honest.
We've definitely touched Misfits a lot, I
Yes.
believe.
Yes.
We definitely have. Oh, should I bring this out? Do you want first episode? Screw it. I'm bringing it out. Joe Joyce.
Yeah.
Love the guy. Seems very friendly, very fun. But the big question, Dan, is it time for him to retire?
You can never rule out a resurgence at some point. I mean, Derek Chisora is proving that he is doing a little resurgence at the minute and looking good as ever. But I think it could be. I think it could be for him. I think he looked quite slow. You can never really rule out a resurgence, but I think it could be time for him to retire. He's proven himself in a good in a decent level now. And I think he had moments in that Hergovich fight. He did have good moments, but I just think he looks slow.
Can we just flash back to like 3 years ago? Joe Joyce was literally the talk of the town. He was the one that everyone's saying, oh no, he's going to be the one to take all the belts. He's going to stop Fury when he fights him. He's going to dismantle Usyk. Now we fast forward another 3 years and he can't, and he's literally scraping a win against Cash Ali, who is notoriously famous for biting David Price just to get out of a fight.
Yeah.
And also, he's lost four out of the last five bouts. Like for that fight against Hergovich, Joyce did so well, but it still wasn't good enough. Like he was actually trying to duck more, but it was like watching a lorry literally reverse into park. Um, he's getting caught too much. He's not light enough on his feet. Hergovich's straight right was literally pinging him back every time. Fair play. He's showing that juggernaut chin, which we didn't see against Chisora. We didn't see that against Zhang, but it still just lacked like the full power and terrifying presence of Joyce. Like I said, I thought Joe Joyce was a more scarier opponent to face than Prime Wilder. I know Wilder's got the power, but Joyce literally can smother you in and will land with ridiculous speed and precision. And the thing is, he weighs like up to like 265 to like 290 pounds.
Yeah.
Picture someone who weighs like Tyson Fury weight, but moves like a flyweight. Like he had fast footwork, he was sharp on his feet, and some of the two biggest wins are two people who were meant to fight each other this year for a world title, and here he is fighting for an international belt where he could have easily been world champ. Like he stopped Daniel Dubois in 2020. He stopped Joseph Parker a year after, something that AJ and White couldn't do when they beat him. And now look at him.
It's crazy how a few years makes the world a difference, to be honest. But
Hmm.
he is nearing 40 now, isn't he? He's 39,
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, I mean, you can't, how long do you go before you do call it a day in boxing? That's the true question because he's not going to be getting better with each fight. He's now probably surpassed his prime. So at what point I guess it's all on him. It's like, why is he fighting now? That would be my question. What's the reasoning?
yeah.
What's the drive inside of him? Because if you give him another 2, 3 years, he's not. It's going to be extremely hard and extremely unlikely that he's going to climb all the way to the top, especially if he can't get past Hergovich. Um, so if he's doing it for enjoyment of the sport and it's a lot of people get the boxing bug and you can't escape it. That's always been the issue, right? So if that is the case for him, then albeit like continue at this level, but I don't know, you don't want to risk your health at that age is my thinking as well. Like you've done you've done what you need to do.
Everyone says like boxing is like in boxing, age is just a number. For me, age is like a clock. When it rings or when it eventually hits time, you know when you're up.
Mm,
Like Bernard Hopkins fought until he was 51 and he got stopped and he was like, when was it? 2017 against Joe Smith Jr. That was his last fight. So that's fairly recent. He stopped when he was 51. Um, Beterbiev is 40. He's still fighting. Chisora's 41. He's still fighting. It just, it's not exactly if your body or your age catches up with you. It's whether you still have the passion and whether that leaves.
mm,
For me, I see every inch of passion leave the body of Joe Joyce. Like I saw it after he lost to Del Boy,
yeah.
and I was there watching that. That was a good fight. And Joyce had his moments, but Chisora bossed him.
I don't know, it's a difficult one I because he is so talented and if you flash back, like you said, a few years back,
Yeah.
that still lives rent free in my mind of that fighter he was then. But you've got to go with what you are now. That's the problem. And if he can't get past fighters now, it, how long do you call it? That's the thing.
He had such a promising career. He
Yeah.
should have won the gold medal at the Olympics. He should have gone to face a champion after his win against Parker, but he decided to face Zhang. Fair play, he's got a massive set of balls on him, but that was just the wrong fight at the wrong time, and now he's just spiraled downwards.
Yeah. Well, speaking of wrong fights, right time, or right fight, wrong time. Um, the first fight between Ben Whittaker and Liam Cameron, did it come a bit too soon for Ben Whittaker, that fight, I think. It was a massive, like going into it, everyone was still saying Ben's gonna absolutely destroy him, but people who know their boxing know Liam Cameron and how much of a test he was going to bring to Ben.
Mm.
And the way it ended just left so many question marks. how do you think the second fight's going to go?
Can we just talk about the bit where they go over the ropes? Because that just reminds me of Royal Rumble when Batista and John Cena just fly out the ring at the same time, which is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Com com
Yeah, it's iconic for the wrong reasons, and that's going to be iconic for the wrong reason as well.
yeah.
Was it too soon? I think my face told the whole story. Yeah, of course it was. Like, it was the biggest jump without a parachute you could ever have. Like, I'm taking Gunman's quotes now. Yeah, it was the biggest jump that you should have never asked for because Cameron has gone up against people who have challenged for world titles. Hell, he took Lyndon Arthur to a very close decision, and that was when Arthur, I believe, was world champ with the IBO belt. I believe so, at light heavyweight. But yeah, Cameron is a very fast operator, and them hooks that he delivered to the body and to the head, you could tell Whitaker did not enjoy that 1 second. Like the first couple of rounds, fair play. Ben was trying to do his showing off style, dodging shots, doing really well. But as soon as he got caught, nah. As far as the second fights go, I know me and you have had our back and forth on this. Believe it or not, guys, first dispute between the hosts. All right. I think Cameron's going to win. I don't want him to win, and for some reason Dan doesn't understand that because he thinks I'm just pro Liam Cameron. But I'm going off what I saw in the first fight. I'm going with what I've seen or how Ben has tried to avoid questions in the Gloves Are Off episode. If you haven't watched that, go and watch it on Sky Sports. And yeah, I don't believe he's ready. He's not taking it seriously. He's got a new coach who he's only been with for a couple months. So he's no longer with Sugar Hill, which I think is not the right move. And he's gone with Andy Lee. I believe Whitaker will get stopped. It's a 10-round fight. I believe he will get stopped in round 8. I know Dan's smiling. I'm just going to ignore it because I'm sticking with what I stand. I hope Ben wins. I hope he shuts everyone up. I hope he stops losing these controversial followings and everyone stops dropping out of his account. I'll be Team Ben, but my head is saying one thing, my heart's saying another. And boxing, you've got to use your head if you want to make predictions. Your heart is for what you're passionate about or who your following is.
Mm. Do you know what though? I'm still using my head when I say Ben.
Yeah, of course you say that.
I just think what he was a silver medalist at the Olympics, a split decision, probably could have got gold as well. He is so technically skillful that the early rounds of that first fight between the two of them, in my opinion, it wasn't even close. And I rewatched it again the other day, and I was just seeing a bit of complacency from Ben Whittaker, to be honest. It just like his attitude going into it, he was like, I'm just this unreal, the best fighter. I'm just gonna tap him, punch, and I'll just win comfortably, and he'll go out of there and he'll fall over and it'll be easy for me. The first 3 rounds, I think I gave the second or something to Liam. I can't remember. But the way how skillful Ben actually is as a boxer, if he takes away the bullshit and the stupid nonsense, which he has to in this fight, by the way, unless he's 6, 7 rounds ahead, and then he wants to try and do a bit of dancing and all of this. He has to be serious. This is crunch time now for him, and I think he does recognize that. And
Dan. Ben Whitaker brought out an egg and the gloves are off. You're saying, oh, stop the bullshit, stop all this crap. He hasn't stopped. He's not going to stop. He still thinks in his head, oh, I'm untouchable. No one's going to touch me. I swear to God, any of the top 10 in the light heavyweight division will kill him. Anthony Yard, Joshua Buatsi, David Benavides, David Morrell, Callum Smith, Beterbiev, Bivol. They will all eat him alive
I don't
because he's just,
disagree. I don't disagree
yeah.
with that statement as of right now. But as of right now, the only challenge he needs to get past is Liam Cameron. And I think once you've suffered. He's had the highest of the highest. Everyone's kind of
Yeah.
looked at him and gone, "You're the next star," basically, right? And mentally, that probably does a lot to you. You probably get this massive ego, this cockiness behind you. And when a performance like that does happen on their first fight, where people are questioning what he's about, and then whether he quit, he now has to psychologically get over that bump and prove to everyone that he is him and he is who he's saying. And I think the jump of improvement from that first fight to now, Ben has significantly more levels to unlock, in my opinion, than Liam Cameron does. So I think you could see Ben go to a new level here. He might um, resort back to his old ways of the first fight that happened between them two. But I think the levels of improvement could be massive from Ben Whittaker than Liam Cameron in this second fight. And I do expect Ben Whittaker to kind of dominate from the word go. And I think this is crunch time for him. This is where he's got to prove himself, and I think he will. I really, really think he will.
Let me ask you something very, very, very clearly. That first fight, do you think he quit?
I think he could have continued. Yeah, I do think he could have continued. And
So you thought he quit?
I don't think he quit per se. I think he could have continued. That's a real cop out answer from me.
I believe he did quit because from what I heard backstage afterwards, there were three different like stories around his certain injury. From Ben's mouth himself, he said, "Oh, I've done my ankle in, like I can't rotate it at all, I can't move it." From when it was Ben Shalami was saying, "Oh, he's done something to his spine, his back." Sugar Hill said, "Oh, he's broken his wrists." Like, there's not like an actual story they stick with, which is really frustrating because at this point Ben had such a massive following, and then this happens, and then all that following just goes, and there's no real explanation because afterwards he just disappears off the internet,
Yeah, yeah,
which he kind of touches on in The Gloves Are Off. Like, you should probably go and watch it if you want the answer, but there's nothing much there, and I don't see how, with the limited time he's been with Andy Lee, I don't see how he can right all the wrongs that he had in the last rounds he did in that fight first with Cameron. That's my standpoint.
yeah, yeah. What have you been thinking about the whole rounds debacle? 10 rounds, 12 rounds, the contract issues. What's your thoughts on that?
This just shows how crappy and really bad Boxer has been run as a promotion. They have had golden fights on their doorstep. They just haven't promoted them enough. Like, they've only done it for like a couple of days during fight week. If you have that good of a fight, you should try and promote it every single day in some small sense. That's what all the other big ones are. That's why they're taken so seriously. That's why Frank Warren and Queensberry are now on the Zone, which is the biggest streaming service because they promote their fights.
Yeah.
Boxer has had so many good fights. Amir Khan and Kell Brook, Fraser Clark and Fabio Wardley, the first one. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam Smith. Savannah Marshall and Clarissa Shields. They've had all of these fights, but I'm going to keep saying it, they haven't promoted them
Yeah.
at all. But yeah, regarding the contract and the rounds, it's just a mess. Like, I'm glad they finally sorted it out, but it's a mess. Like, Dan, seriously, if someone would come up to you and like, "Oh, you're going to fight this person for 6 rounds," and then the next day say, "Oh no, actually you change it. We're going to do it for 8 rounds," and then they call again. Actually, no, we're going to go back to 6. Can you see the type of mess that they've put themselves in?
Yeah, it's all over the place, isn't it? Absolutely all over the place. I think I watched something yesterday that
Yeah.
Ben Shalom had to pay Liam Cameron a lot of extra money just to get it back to the 10 rounds that they initially had in place. So yeah, I'm sure it'll be a big lesson that he'll learn going forward as well with that.
I'm still saying Cameron. I'm still going to say late stoppage, but I want Ben to win. I want Whitaker to do well. I want him to thrive. But if he can't get past this, then how on earth are we going to believe that he's ready for like a interim title, let alone a world title?
It's another challenge that he has to get over now. I'm hoping he does because I think the stardom and the power he holds is huge. So I hope that he will put on a good boxing display. I'm not sure Liam Cameron's someone who's just going to roll over very easily. So I
No.
kind of expect it to hopefully go the distance. Let's have no dramas this time around. Um, but I do believe Ben is just such a slick boxer that I think he'll be able to get the job done. I really do. I have a lot of faith in his ability. On a good day, hopefully he gets the job done.
Anyway, let's stop the negativity for one point. Let's actually talk briefly on a masterpiece that happened last weekend. Geronis is possibly one of the greatest welterweight world champions I think I've ever seen. By that fight against Stanionis, he leveled up massively.
Hmm.
Like considering the fact that the last couple of fights he's been hit too easily, and again in this one he was, but he actually showed off his chin. He was less reluctant to just clinch or escape a fist fight. He was so good from the opening bell, right? His uppercuts were landing on the mark, body shot timing perfectly, the combos were flowing well. He looks so big at 147 though. He's got. For me, he has to move up, but I don't think that's his idea. I think he wants to go undisputed. But I cannot see Barrios or Norman Jr. fighting him now.
No, it was a great performance to be fair to you. I mean, the shot selection was the key for me.
Yep.
Um, I don't know. He does look very big though. Ideally, I think he has to go up in my opinion. But
Yep. Same.
with the undisputed, I don't know, maybe you stick that out. You get that first of all, I think. You go for that. It's always going to be something that fighters want to get to, isn't it? So, um stick it out. Absolutely, and then move up if you have to after. But he does look massive. He does.
But I don't see Barrios or Norman Jr. fighting him anytime soon, which
Mm.
is why I'm saying he's got to move up. And plus, there's more entertaining fights up super welterweight. I'll be honest. Like Virgil Ortiz, we've been asking to see that fight for years, and it's been cancelled twice, so we can finally get it. Crawford,
So
uh,
what would you say the best thing for him to do next is then?
I out of the two world champions that he hasn't faced yet at welterweight, I think Norman would be more interested in jumping with him. Barrios would get ripped to shreds. Um, but for me, I probably would say move up.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
said it himself. He said it himself. If they don't show up, he moves up. Question from Tarbito, my boy Tarbito. Shout out. He's asking, what are our top five influencer boxers or crossover boxers?
Oh, great question. Okay.
That's a beautiful question.
Hell yeah.
Dan goes first.
Me first. But I have to do them in any order. Can I just name? Because I haven't thought about an order.
I'll tell you what. Just name them, and then
Yeah.
let the whole audience guess from there where you think
Yeah.
you put them.
Okay, I can't lie. It might be number one for me, I don't know. But Salt Pappy, every time I've watched him live, the crowd go absolutely bananas for him. They absolutely go ballistic. He holds so much star power, I think, in the Misfits scene. Seeing him fight is always exciting as well. And I mean, when he fought King Kenny, I backed King Kenny to win because I was thinking he's going to be slicker, he's going to be better. But honestly, Salt Pappy's got to be in my top five, man. He's so cold. He's
Yeah.
got insane skills, good star power. Salt Pappy's definitely in there for me. What about you? Who's one of yours? We'll go back to back.
Go back to back, yeah. It's got to be Gibb. Like that comeback he's had since that one individual loss against Jake Paul, and he's turned his whole career around. Where you say he's probably the best influencer boxer of them all, and I think the end of last year proved that. He's really shown that one setback does not challenge who you are. The
Yeah,
real challenge is what you make of it afterwards. And for me, he's made it 100%. Like he's won every fight after that. So that's his record now to what? 7-1?
yeah,
That's nuts. Considering that you had in your third fight you took a loss, and then you had another five where you're getting knockouts, you're getting highlight reel performances, and you're looking untouchable.
yeah. No, it's true. He was someone I always used to look up to as well, growing up
Yeah,
over the last few years, watching him fight like Austin McBroom away from the Misfits scene and just in the influencer boxing scene. Him fighting Austin really, really captivated me and he's always in insane shape now. Like going from that kind of chubbier gamer to now ripped and like, oh, it's insane. He is one of the most inspirational, motivational kind of fighters out there as well. Him and Salt Pappy, they're like weight transformations and their body transformations as well has been insane. Uh, and it probably, I can't lie, is they should probably fight each other.
yeah, they should.
They really should, shouldn't they? I mean, it would be a banging fight for the scene. They've both got insane stories behind them, but I think them two fighting each other would be insane. Um, Another fighter then for me in my top five, and I'm not going based off of just skill alone, because in the Misfit scene, you need someone who can promote, you need someone who's doing loads and loads of things, right? Um, And I might be a bit biased with this one just because he's in and around the small creator scene as well. But I'm gonna say DTG, man. Um, he is absolutely one of my fave Misfits fighters. The way he gives back to the community, the way he is still really good fighter himself,
Yeah,
the way he's transformed his body and boxing ability as well from the start to now. He gives back that and that's what I really really like. They always say you should give a shit about the people who are putting you in these positions and DTG giving back to the fans constantly really
yeah,
really resonates with me. Like he got us both tickets to the Misfits fight and put us up in the
yeah, yeah, he did.
thing upstairs. Like yeah, you don't see that a lot with big time celebs or big time fighters or influencers or whatever. And for me, the Misfits boxing influencer community is all about the what the fans want and what fights the fans want. And I think he gives back to the fans a hell of a lot, as well as being good at boxing, as well as having a good body transformation, and as well as creating sick music. That diss track he did on his last fight was pretty insane. So
Yeah,
uh,
couldn't agree more.
yeah,
Could not agree more. Could not agree more. I'd say Ditch probably would be on mine as well.
mm,
Everything you've said and more. To me again.
yeah.
Does Darren Till count? Are we going to count Darren Till?
Um, I mean,
Because
yeah,
he's technically a crossover boxer. He didn't start with
what,
boxing.
100%, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. I'll say Darren Till. I'll say Darren Till. Simply because of the power he brings to the ring, um, the dominant way he bullies around his opponents, the left hook, the uppercut. Like when you watch a Darren Till fight, like if you go and watch back that fight against Anthony Taylor, it's like you're watching like a 10-plus year pro. That uppercut could not be timed any better. The one that knocks him down in like round three, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That uppercut is beautiful. That's probably my favorite knockdown I think I've ever seen at a Misfits event. So good, so good. And even though he had to go through some adversity as well, like AT busted his nose open and that, he still stayed calm and composed. And I still believe to this day, and many people will, if he actually fought Tommy Fury, he would have battered him.
You think? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I do. Because we've all seen like the downfall of Tommy Fury. We've all seen the downfall of the Furies, apart from Tyson, because he's retired now. Like Tommy's fighting in Hungary in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But for a company we don't know of, for a card we haven't heard of, and something that has not been promoted apart from him just putting a picture out with him and his cousin Roman. Uh, yeah, look from where he was to where he could have been. He could have been fighting Darren Till at Manchester Arena, sold out, live in front of his home fans, and instead he's now fighting whoever, whoever he bloody wants in Hungary.
Yeah. It don't make
But
sense.
yeah, no, I don't. But Darren Till for me, yeah, definitely.
I agree with that one. Darren Till, very very good previous MMA fighter as well. So the crossover
Yeah,
now into the boxing, it attracts a lot of attention in the fight space for sure. Um, my next one's probably a bit of a cop out answer. I'm not gonna lie to you, but he's got to be. He's one of my favorite fighters to watch in the crossover community, and it's KSI. He's got to be in there for me. Like
he has to be.
he
He's in for me as well. He has to be
yeah.
in there. He's the one that started it all.
100%, and it's so much excitement every time he fights. He brings so much anticipation that everyone around you is so excited to watch him fight. He does a lot
Yeah,
of stuff outside of boxing that also
yeah.
attracts you to want to watch him fight. That, you know, he's the one who started it all, and the whole Misfits spot itself, like you said. So KSI's got to be in there. He's got to be in the top five.
He's got to.
Mm,
He's got to be in there. Like Misfits was at his highest when JJ was like coming out to as many shows as he could. For example, he was fighting on '01. He was there for the very beginning. He fight on '04, '07. Then he did '10. He did like a free event gap, which I kind of liked the fact he did that and he wasn't on every single show because everyone would think, oh, he's just hogging the spotlight. But he gave everyone else a chance. Like he gave Jay Swingler time to main event a couple cards. Dana Great main evented a card. Um, Jay Swingler main evented again. Some reason JMX main evented a card.
yeah.
Yeah, forgot about that.
Mm,
Idris Virgo main evented one.
yeah.
But when it was a KSI card, yes, it's annoying that it was all pay per view every single time, and I had to like fork out like 15 quid every time on the zone to watch it. But it was worth it at the end of the day. Like every fight was not boring, every fight was entertaining, every fight felt like you got your money's worth. And for me, that's what an influencer boxer should be. Whether you win, lose, or draw, you've got to entertain the fans. That's the whole reason you're there. And for me, KSI did that more than everyone. So you've got four, I've got four. So I've got Darren Till, Gibb, DTG, and JJ.
Yeah.
Oh, who's the fifth one? Who do I say is the fifth one? Uh, Nate Robinson?
Do you know what? I'm gonna throw a shout out there.
Go
Uh,
on.
and I'm gonna say Julie Pocker.
Oh, that's a banger.
Mm,
Yes, definitely.
100%. I mean, the female champ um trains obviously. There's a lot of clips out there of her with like Alex Pereira or whatever in the um in can't speak in the social media
In,
sphere.
yeah, in
Um,
Brazil.
yeah, and my previous training coach Jeffrey is Brazilian, uh,
Oh,
and raves about her and Whindersson Nunes, especially when he was fighting, that the Brazilian culture and everything they do there really resonates with them. So she's got a huge fan base. She's really good at boxing, like she is slick with it. Uh,
yeah.
and I know it wasn't on Misfits, but we're talking kind of crossover here. When it was the Kingpin tournament
Mm.
and all the Brazilian fans were in that arena cheering Whindersson and Julie, it was like, wow, that support and everything they had really caught the attention at that time. So, with the fan base, with the skill in boxing, Julie Pocker is in my top five.
Okay, I'll stay on the trend. I'm going to shout out Elle Brook
Yeah, I like it.
because she is, along with Julie, she's become the biggest female star next to her because every fight that Elle has had since that train wreck of the first Kingpin event, she's
Yeah.
actually she's made them all to entertaining. Like that one round scrap against Faith Ordway when there was just blood and blood spilled everywhere. That was brutal. The fact there was one round as well, they were bleeding. I was like, jeez.
Yeah,
Um,
that was a great fight, actually. Just back and forth, throwing the
yeah,
punches.
yeah. Her, her fight against Julie when she came back, winning the um, middleweight title in Leeds against AJ with that brutal right hook, beautiful shot.
Insane.
Um, her facing Paige Van Zandt, then facing Jenny Savage. She likes to test herself. She's not a fighter who wants to restrict herself with just fighting influencers. She wants to expand more. She wants to go up against MMA fighters, boxers, and she deservedly has the right to because everyone around her camp knows the game so well. She's got Ebony Bridges, former world champion. She's got Johnny Fisher, the Romford Bull, who's charging through the heavyweight division. Mind you, he needs to get past David Allen, but yeah, she's got so much support and backing behind her. You can really appreciate the confidence she brings to the ring. So yeah, Elle Brook for me would be my number five.
Love it. Absolutely love it. So we got a good list there, both of us, haven't we?
Yeah,
Got a real good list.
yeah, it's got yeah. I think I'm happy with both our lists. I think we
I think
both
so.
chosen wisely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. It's a good question.
yeah. I'm just going for. I think we'll just go for the questions to finish off because we've touched a lot on the topics. I think I'll go over like the boxing news at the end. Another one. Oh, from my boy James. Oh, which fight on Outcast 4 is going to be the one to steal the show? Okay, so if you lot have never seen this before, you don't watch us, basically, let's sum up. I'm a ring announcer, and one of my famous companies that I'm working for is Outcast Boxing. They deliver some of the best SCB and white collar fights that you'll ever find in the UK. But there's so many good fights on this upcoming card that we're doing in June that I just don't know what to pick. We've got a cruiserweight title bout. We've got our first MMA fight on the card, which is mad.
Yeah.
And then we've also got loads of grudge matches. But for me, which one do I say? This is really difficult to choose. I'm gonna go with Jake versus Dimes. Jake versus Dimes 2, because I was there for the first one and I was there to actually announce both of them down. For me, that was such a good bout, and I kind of wish there were more rounds because I felt like they were only just cooking up. But it was very 50-50, as close as a 50-50 fight that you could ever see. And I'm glad the fans wanted a rematch to it. So that's the simple reason why I'm going to go for that fight.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, I think that's a good one to be fair.
Hmm.
Um, I'm gonna say fighting with Jay and K5.
Yeah, cruiserweight title.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the reason I say that is because obviously I was there for the first one, the first time they fought, and I didn't agree with the result personally, but this time around it's like there's a chance to make it known who's won. Like a real tear up could happen because of that first fight and the way,
yeah,
like in my opinion, I thought the result was not right. I watched it back and I still agree with what I was thinking. Um, it was close. It was a good close bout between the two of them. They both had their moments in it. So I think this time around it could now come to into fruition of like someone to really make a mark on who is the best between the two of them. So
yeah.
I'm gonna put that fight as the one I'm most looking forward to.
It's another good pick. Like I had that one in my mind, but I was thinking, is that too obvious? Like
Mm.
maybe I should try and give the card a little bit more love.
Yeah, no, I hear what you mean. Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, Outcast should be. Outcast is just fun every single time we go to do
Uh,
it. Every single time I've announced on it, it's just a fun event. Just lovely people, lovely vibes. The crowds that turn up, however, they're not very big, but they do bring a massive voice behind them. It feels like you're actually in a stadium by how loud they get,
mm,
supporting their loved ones in the ring or supporting friends. It just feels the smaller it is, the more exciting it gets for me. I'll be honest, which sounds really weird, but I just like the fact that it's contained in like a smaller space, but there's so many people in there. It just makes it sound magical.
yeah. I think it's a perfect spot. It's like it's real grounded and like it's the real grassroots of like the influencer boxing, I think.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, yeah.
Really is. And you've obviously got Gunman again sponsoring and helping out with some of the fighters and a lot of stuff on there. So shout out to him.
Shout out, gunman.
Another fight again when we can't sleep on the Jack Does boxing and Jalen fight. I mean, MMA question mark, bit weird, but um
Two weight question mark as well because there's two titles from two different weight divisions. So how they going
yeah,
I'm
it's
still struggling how they're going to do that.
yeah, it's a bit confusing a few things at the minute, and I think a boxing fight may have have been a bit easier to
Yeah,
for the narrative to come across.
yeah, I agree.
But nonetheless, it's an MMA fight. Still looking forward to it. 4 ounce gloves, craziness. It's gonna be a proper tear up then too.
Mm, true, true. Of everyone on Outcast are just going to steal the show. I cannot wait to announce it. Obviously, we're going to be there. Open It Uppercuts are going to be trying to do interviews, reactions, maybe a vlog as well if we get the time. But yeah, we'll definitely will be covering it. So if people are wondering where the content will be, it will come out. I think we've touched a lot. I'll be honest, Dan. This will be a first good episode. I'll be honest.
Been a great first episode. Yeah, we've touched on a lot, like you said. We've covered many bases. So yeah, thank you to everyone watching. Um, we're gonna continue to be smashing the content out in the boxing scene.
Yeah, we're just going to go stronger and stronger, and our road is going to go longer and longer, fam. You cannot stop our train because we want all of you to come on board with us. This is going to be such a magical journey. We're going to cover everything we can. Boxing news this weekend, obviously. Tune in for Ben Whittaker and Liam Cameron too, where Cameron will get the win again, like he should have done the first time. Something we haven't covered as well. Dalton Smith back in the ring.
Yeah.
Probably my favourite super lightweight in the whole division. He is back fighting against Matthew Gormian, I believe, a Canadian fighter. Only one loss in his record, so that should be a good fight. Don't forget as well, the Boxing Grand Prix is on. No, it's not boxers just running around the track. It's actually them fighting like a tournament. That's fun. It'll be live on the Zone. It was live yesterday. It will be on today, Saturday, and Sunday. The first phase of the tournament. So please go and watch it live on the Zone. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and we're gonna keep on pushing this out. Cheers, guys. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.